It's time for In the Spotlight, where every story is a star and every resident is a VIP. Get ready to be inspired, entertained, and connected as we illuminate the incredible spirit of Joliet and our Southside communities together. To nominate a Spotlight shout-out, a Southside business, or local organization you want to see highlighted, visit us at WJOL.com and click On Air. In the Spotlight, the show that turns the spotlight on the incredible people and stories that make our communities shine. This is In the Spotlight.
Welcome to In the Spotlight. I'm your host, Nancy Burke, and today my guest is Lynn Ingram, board member and secretary of Midwest Biker Foundation of Illinois. Welcome to the show, Lynn Ingram. How are you, Lynn?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, Lynn. I do appreciate it. And it's Motorcycle Awareness Month. This is a perfect time to have you on the show and talk about the foundation. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I live here in Will County, out in the country, and I am a wife and a mom, a grandma, and a great grandma.
Can you tell us a little bit about the, it's really a ministry, but the Midwest Biker Relief Foundation, what you do and who you help?
Well, our mission is really pretty simple. We are a group of bikers who are helping other bikers. We do that by providing community, financial assistance, safety and awareness for those who have been involved in motorcycle accidents. The biker community is really a community. And this was born out of my daughter's heart. She was involved in a club, her and my son-in-law, a Fire and Iron, which is a motorcycle club for firefighters and first responders. And, you know, if something happened to one of the members, they had the club to support them.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody just rides, or, you know, it's just a group of friends that go out and ride for just recreation, they don't have that community in the event something happens. They have their family, they have their friends, but they don't have a bigger community to really support them. So while she was in Illinois, I mean, it was 5 years on her mind, on her heart. And because of a job change, they ended up in Cincinnati and connected to a club right away, and still saw the people out riding who just struggled if something happened.
You're not just providing financial assistance for motorcyclists and their family who have been in these accidents, but also outreach, education, and awareness. You were telling me about a game that you came up with for the kids to
Yes.
to really be aware. Tell us a little bit about that. I think it's fascinating and smart.
Well, we hope it is. So back in the day, we all remember playing the license plate game when you're on family vacation in the car and your dad's just
Mhm.
wanting to keep you quiet. Check out the license plates. Where are they all from? And it's a game. You try to match them all up, fill them all up. We decided, what if that game switched to the motorcycle game? Instead of looking at license plates, look for motorcycles. Count the motorcycles you see.
Love it.
On the interstate, in the parking lots, on the side streets. Count the motorcycles. It keeps the kids looking and starting early to educate them. And it's keeping mom and dad, hopefully, or whoever's driving them, it's keeping them looking too. Just in Illinois alone, it usually takes a while for them to compile complete data. So the most recent they have is from 2021. And just in the state of Illinois, there were 2,381 crashes. There were 849 of those that were severe, meaning somebody had to be carried away from the scene. And then 168 fatalities. And when you consider that motorcycles only make up 3% of the vehicles on the road, yet they're 11% of the fatalities. there is something really skewed about that number, and it means people just aren't seeing them.
It's usually the other drivers that cause the wrecks. Is that what you have found, that a lot of the families that you serve, they're not fault accidents?
It is, and I know a lot of people think, again, motorcycles can just be jerks on the road, and we're the first to call those people out too.
Mm,
We want you to do the speed limit. We want you to drive safe, ride sober.
mhm.
Don't take unnecessary chances. However, statistically, it's cars turning left, either not noticing a motorcyclist on their left or not noticing a motorcyclist coming toward them, and they'll
Mhm.
just turn in front. It looks like the bike hit the car, which it did, but it did because the car didn't see the bike slow down or yield.
You were telling me a little bit about some fascinating facts of what might look like a motorcyclist doing something illegal or wrong, but it's actually what they're trained to do, and there's a reason behind it. Can you tell us a little bit so that our listeners can be informed the way that you informed me off air?
So we do presentation. I do a safety and awareness presentation, and I kind of bust some myths and some fallacies
Hmm.
about bikers. Um, one of them is when a bike pulls up behind you and they're revving their motor real loud and it's kind of aggravating to you, they're letting you know they're there. They want you
Hmm.
to be aware that there is a bike behind your car. So they're
Hmm.
not just being a jerk. Um, Sometimes you'll glance up in your rearview mirror and you see the bikes going from edge to edge of the lanes, and you think they're just swerving or they're just, again, riding stupid. That's
Hmm.
not the case. They're trying to avoid debris in the road. Sometimes there's a big rock, a pothole, sticks, things that a car is just going to naturally be able to drive over, but a bike cannot. They have to navigate everything that's in the road. A large rock can take a bike down in a heartbeat.
Hmm.
Loose gravel can take a bike down quickly. As a person driving the car, you look at them and you think, yeah, that's why they get in those accidents. There's also a brand new law that went into effect last year. It's called the dead red. A motorcycle pulls up to a red light,
Hmm.
the light stays red. When a car pulls up to a red light, the light will turn green after a few seconds because there's a sensor under the pavement. The car is heavy enough to
Ah,
trip the sensor. The bike is not heavy enough to trip a sensor.
makes sense.
So what happens is they sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait. And there was a point where they were running red lights. However, last year, this law went into effect that says that a bike can wait 2 minutes. If there is no traffic present, even if the light is still red, they can go. So if you're behind a bike and you think that jerk just ran a red light, no, he did not. He's actually following the law and he's getting out of the way.
So you're really educating people, which is fascinating. Can you tell us how we can get in touch with you? Maybe volunteer or donate?
Yes, absolutely. So we have a website, mbrf.net. Email info@mbrf.net. It's going to get directly to one of us. All board members get that in their inboxes. So somebody will reach out to you. And you can find us on Facebook, Midwest Biker Relief Foundation.
We'll be back with Lynn, the secretary and board member of Midwest Biker Relief Foundation of Illinois, and a chance for you to win 2 tickets to see Debbie Boone when she comes into town for her Mother's Day concert. Right after this. This week's Community Spotlight shout out goes to Tina Dickinson. Tina, your friend Elise writes, "You're not just amazing, you're a powerhouse of love, resilience, and faith. As a devoted mother, you pour your heart and soul into caring for your son with unparalleled dedication and tenderness. Your love for children extends far beyond your family as you channel your passion into your work as a dental hygienist specializing in children's dental care. Your faith has been your rock, guiding you through tough times and shining brightly as a beacon of hope to all that know you. So here's to Tina Dickinson, a remarkable mother, a dedicated professional, and an extraordinary friend. Thank you for your boundless love and unwavering faith and your heart of gold. You inspire us to be better, to love deeper, and to walk closer with God. So Tina, keep shining your light bright. You are this week's Community Spotlight Superstar. What good deed would you like to give a shout out to? Whether it's somebody helping a neighbor or volunteering at a shelter or any act of kindness, it's great to recognize and appreciate those moments. So head on over to WJOL.com, click on air, then in the spotlight, fill out the form to nominate your Community Spotlight Shout Out Superstar. While you're there, you can also nominate a business or organization to be our featured guest on the show.
Time now for your Joyful Minute. Today's Joyful Minute is brought to you by Brian Hunt.
The world around us can feel pretty chaotic at times, can it? I mean, there are so many things that seem to be out of our control and frustrating and concerning, and when that happens, it can be easy to get distracted and overwhelmed. It's in those times that we need something to ground us to. We need something to refocus our attention on what really matters. And too often we could try and do that by buying things or getting into bad habits or even giving up. We try to do so much thinking by doing things we can distract ourselves from the chaos around us. But God has such a different approach to the mess around us. Listen to what he says in Psalm 37:7. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. When we are surrounded by chaos, what God says to do is to be still, to wait, and not to fret. He says to trust him and stay focused on what we know is true. So instead of trying to get busy, maybe we should start by getting still and trusting that God is still in control.
You've been listening to today's Joyful Minute, reminding you to keep equipping, encouraging, and empowering the world, one life and minute at a time.
We're back with Lynn, board member and secretary of Midwest Biker Relief Foundation. Lynn, I know that you've given us just a plethora of information. Do you do events? Do you have any events coming up that you can tell us a little bit about?
Well, we do events all the time in multiple states. But coming up soon, obviously, May is Motorcycle Awareness Month. So I am out just doing presentations to organizations. Again, if you're part of an organization or a club or just a group of people, I'm more than happy to come and do a presentation for you about us and how you can get involved in closer ways. In the summer, we've got a Bikers Bringing Backpacks event that we have motorcycle clubs that are going to be present. And we're going to be just having a full day event for the kids, giving them fully stocked backpacks, haircuts, health department will be there, just entertainment. So it's just a fun day for the kids.
Fun.
And then a little further into the summer, we know that we'll be doing the first annual memorial ride for Jerry and Alyssa, the Adcocks, who we met them last year when this young couple, Jerry and Alyssa, husband and wife, were killed on a bike. And we got connected to the family. We did an event and raised money for them then, but we stay with these families. We're not a one and done. We stay with them as long as they need us to be there. So we're doing a memorial ride then in August in their honor. And we'll, of course, raise money again for their daughters that they left behind, a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking. We'll be lifting that family up in prayer. And I'm sure they feel completely blessed to have this organization come alongside them, not only for the moment, but for the long haul. Standing in the gap, that's got to be really rewarding, heartbreaking and rewarding all at the same time, I'd imagine, huh?
It really is. And I love that you use the phrase standing in the gap because that is absolutely what we do. It's a difficult time. And when families are in grief, they
Mhm.
grieve together.
Mhm.
Somebody from the outside stepping in can help kind of organize things, can help navigate things
Yeah.
when all they really need to do is just hold one another.
Yes.
We're there with bigger arms holding all of them, but we also do the work.
Yes, and there's so many layers because, like you said, it was really key. They're grieving and they need to be there to heal, and whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, but you're there to come in and help with all of those things from the outside where you might not be emotionally attached at that point, where you can think of all those little layers like counseling or doctors. Do you help provide those services as well?
We do, we do referrals. So we've vetted and still do because we still bring people in. We have an attorney, we have personal injury attorneys who specialize in motorcycles. A lot of these attorneys ride themselves, so they genuinely understand the riding
Mhm.
community
Mm.
and will refer those people. Maybe they need adaptive equipment, a walker, a lift chair, whatever. We're going to put them in touch with the people that they need. We ask the questions. We think about all the bigger picture things that in the midst of an event, they're really not thinking about those things. That's what we come in and do. I love your stand in the gap because that's absolutely what we do is stand in the gap.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful because I know I lost my husband. He was a writer, and his two sons are motorcycle riders. And I didn't lose him in a motorcycle accident, but I'll tell you what, those people who came in and let me just grieve and did all of the paperwork and, cleaned my house, brought me meals, anything like that, helped me find a counselor as well. They are gold to me because you're not thinking about that stuff. You don't you as
Right.
you shouldn't, and it's just beautiful what you're doing. Lynn, we have come to a point in our broadcast where we have a little fun. I know you were talking about the license plate game, which is now the motorcycle game, and how count the motorcycles. Well, this isn't quite count the motorcycles, but we are going to play a game called Top That. And I'm going to give you a category, and you need to give me the top answer, the most popular answer to that category. Okay?
Okay, no pressure. No
All right, no
pressure.
pressure. I think we need some music to go along with this one. You're going to play for bragging rights? Okay.
Okay.
All right, bragging rights. All right, ready? In
I'm ready.
honor of Mother's Day, female musicians with one word names. Female musicians with one word names. What do you
Okay,
think?
well, I give two.
Okay.
That come to
Oh,
mind right away. One's gonna date me, but the other one's more current.
okay. Give me
So
the one that dates you first.
share.
That's the one that I would have picked too. I do a mean Cher impression. If I could tell. Okay, I won't
Let's hear
bore you
that.
with
I'll
that.
have to hear that sometime.
Well, that's not one of the answers. Do you have another guess?
My other guess would be Beyonce. She's the most current I can think of.
That is a really good guess. And in fact, that's the number 2 answer. The number 1 was Madonna. I would say Beyonce. I'm going to say that you won. I'm going to say you got it. Now, when the listeners play, I can't cheat, but for you, I'm going to say Beyonce is much more popular than Madonna, especially these days. So there you go. Good job, Lynn. You did a really great job. That
Thank
wasn't so
you.
hard, was it?
No,
No, not
not at all.
so hard. Not at all.
And now it's time for Top That, where you have to guess the top answer to this category.
In honor of Mother's Day, names that start with the word lady. Just head on over to 1340 WJOL on Instagram or Facebook, and right there in the comments section, answer your guess for the Top That category, names that begin with the word lady. We're back with Lynn, board member and secretary of Midwest Biker Relief Foundation. Lynn, your mission to help motorcyclists and their families who have been in motorcycle-related accidents by creating this community and health support and financial assistance. Lynn, tell us one more time how we can get in touch with you.
So find us on our Facebook page at Midwest Biker Relief Foundation or our website, mbrf.net, and email at info@mbrf.net. And one of our representatives, no matter where you're calling or emailing from, I should say emailing, someone's going to get in touch with you because we do cover 6 states.
So we're talking Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana,
Ohio, and Missouri.
So all
Correct.
the Midwest
Yes.
states. So anybody in the Midwest states, or if you know somebody in the Midwest that would be interested in getting involved in this great, really ministry, but this foundation, Midwest Biker Relief Foundation, please reach out to Lynn. You have her information. You can visit them at mbrf.net or email them at info@mbrf.net. Lynn, thank you so much for being on the show. God bless you in your journey. This is a beautiful mission that you're on, and we definitely want to come alongside. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having us and helping get the word out about Midwest Biker.
Absolutely. You have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you to Scott Slocum and everybody here at WJOL that make this show possible. And remember, if you can't listen to us while we're live, catch us on Facebook or Instagram at 1340 WJOL. Don't forget, when you're traveling outside our AM signal, you can always listen to us at WJOL.com, and you can hear the podcast there as well. And you can always catch us on your favorite smart speaker. Don't forget, you are loved and you are special and you belong to the WJOL family. So until next time, always stay in the spotlight.
To nominate a spotlight shout-out, a Southside business, or local organization you want to see highlighted, visit us at WJOL.com and click On Air. In the Spotlight, the show that turns the spotlight on the incredible people and stories that make our communities shine.
Spotlight.